Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Positive Vibes podcast. So in today's podcast, we're having a great time with Sandy Johnston, who is an abundant life coach, consultant, angel intuitive, and energetic healer. She is also the host of the Tiara's Tears and Triumphs podcast. She helps people rise to their highest value in their personal and professional life. So in today's podcast, we're going to have a short journey with her. And she's going to give us some tips about how you can attract and enable yourself to attract abundance on all levels of your life. So Sandy offers her services online, helping women from all around the world. And she also helps women to heal from painful experiences so that they can recover, live a more fulfilled life, and help them to tap into their inner wisdom, deepest potential, and learn to trust in their own strength and create healthy boundaries to attract the right sort of relationships. So let's welcome together Sandy Johnston. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing?
Hi, Alice. It's Sandy, but don't worry. I should have corrected you earlier. Don't worry, it's fine.
oh no! I saw it, Sarah.
Sarah's a lovely name. I like the name Sarah.
Yeah, and look what I've written down. I've written down Sarah. Oh my God.
Don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. And I'll tell you a really funny story about my name too, because do you want to keep going?
Okay, of course. Yeah, it's a good start. Let's just go.
For me, this is true life. This is the way true life happens, where it's messy. Life isn't this doesn't fit into this neat little box all the time, the way that, we might wish it that it would.
Yeah.
And so my name, as lovely as the name Sarah is, I think it's a beautiful name, but my name is actually Sandy. And my name's Sandy, and my name's Sandy Johnston, and I am an abundant life coach, and I'm an angel intuitive, and I am an energetic healer. So because you started off with that, calling me by a different name, I'm going to just tell you a little something about myself that nobody knows me really from a bar of soap at the moment, but Sandy is a name that I adopted. So it isn't actually the name that I was born with. So it's really interesting that you called me by another name, because it's just it's actually quite true that my name is something that I have given myself, and people take on different names for different reasons in their lifetime.
This is what I did. Yeah, we have actually the same story. This is something I did, but carry on. I'm going to tell you about me later on.
Yeah, so you will have a reason that you wanted to change your name. And the reason that I changed my name was out of the need to stay safe, because I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. So this is a big problem that many women go through this. And the statistics, when you hear about the statistics, they're terrible. But, there's as many as 1 in 4 women who have experienced some sort of abuse in their lives. And I am one of those women, and I can thankfully say that I'm a survivor. I'm somebody who managed to break free from that cycle of abuse. But it was a very difficult road for me to go down to actually get to a place of safety in my life. And one of the things that I needed to do to keep myself safe and to keep my children safe was to adopt a new name. I needed to pick a new name for myself. And that was also a marker for me of having a new identity and a new life,
path.
Being able to start over, which is so important when you have been through something so harrowing, to have that defining line where you say, this is the past and this is the new me, and this is the new future and the new road that I'm going down. Because there are many triggers, and as an NLP coach, you will understand that we have these stories and these paradigms which are embedded in us from our past experiences.
And you just have to shift them in order to change your life and your experiences. Like, change your story, change your life. This is what Tony Robbins keeps saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So that's me, and that's my reason why I took on this name, Sandy. And what I've been doing, because I also have a podcast. So aside from being that abundant life coach, and aside from being an angel intuitive and an energetic healer, I also have a podcast called Tiaras, Tears and Triumphs. And this podcast it provides a safe space for women who are being faced with challenges because of domestic abuse or abusive relationships. They can tune into my podcast and they can listen to maybe things like the red flags to look out for in narcissistic relationships. They can listen to episodes which talk about what a narcissistic relationship looks like, or listen to an episode about what healthy boundaries are and how to create healthy boundaries.
I've tried to listen to one, and I got this. Yeah, it was all about like inspiring other women to know that like they are not alone and they shouldn't suffer in silence. It's just like, this is what I learned from Marta. She said that no woman has to suffer in silence and alone.
Yes.
Like she needs to feel supported by other women. Like, we're not feminists, but it's just the truth. It's hard to cope with, like, when you're a single mom, for example, it's really hard to cope with life and with the children, with all the responsibilities that comes with it. So, I like the concept of your podcast, and I encourage you to keep going and keep the good work up. It's something great. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more? You're most welcome. I said, can you tell us a little bit more, like, about how you started this abundance journey? So, like, this law of attraction journey, intuitive journey, and like, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be very, very happy to talk about that.
Thank you.
I think that, our history helps us to form what we need to learn. Like, life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. So what I needed to learn in my own life after breaking free from this abusive relationship, where I literally lost everything. And for many women who go through abusive relationships, they are financially abused. The percentage is 99% of women who are in abusive relationships are also financially abused. That's almost every single one of these women has been abused with their finances, which then creates things in you like having a scarcity mindset, like being in survival mode or having a survival mentality. And these kinds of paradigms, they create these triggers in you which make you very fearful around money. And so what needs to happen is you need to heal and you need to recover from those experiences, because you've been through what you've been through, and what that has, as you know, told your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is just listening to whatever it is being told, and your experience is telling you it's coming from a place of lack, coming from a place of scarcity, coming from a place of not enough. So my own path has been a path of healing my own relationship with money and healing my own traumas around the experiences that I went through. So knowing how important this is, and that this fundamental shift needs to happen from inside of us, that it is not enough for us to just say a bunch of affirmations to change these things in our lives, that there's a whole lot of different strategies that we need to be putting into practice to create a new paradigm, a new story, one that becomes as ingrained in us as that old story once was. And this is my passion, because what it absolutely represents is freedom. And my passion is to see women standing free and standing up on their own 2 feet, confidently moving through life happily and freely. And that's really what abundance represents, is it represents choice, it represents freedom. And so this is why I am on this path, because I really want to see women being liberated from being constrained by the damage that they've been through in some of the experiences that they've had in unhealthy relationships.
Yeah, okay. And like, do you think that being like wealthy or being abundant, like when you speak about, okay, just like one thing, when you speak about abundance, like do you talk only about money, or like being abundant in your mind, being abundant in your emotional feelings and emotional home and all these stuff? So can you like tell us more about this type of abundance?
Yes, that's absolutely where it starts, is it starts from within. So when I say within, it's engaging all of our senses in that. So we've got our 5 senses, we've got our sight, we've got our hearing, we've got taste, we've got touch, we've got feeling, and we need to incorporate it on every level. But on top of that is also our 6th sense, which is our intuition. And we also need to really be working on our intuition. And our intuition is like our superpower. So back to your question, when we're talking about the emotions, when we know that we're driven by feelings, our subconscious mind is very much driven by feelings. And so when we attach feelings to our mindset, so when we're thinking something, and this is what I was saying before, is it's not enough to just say an affirmation and say, money comes to me easily and in ever-increasing sources. And when I say it like that, it's kind of like, do you believe me?
No.
Did I say that convincingly? No. You need to actually attach the right emotion to it, because that's when it becomes alive. Without it has no life, it has no energy. And this is, when I was talking about being an energy worker, we really need to match our mind with our emotion. It's really, really important. And our intention is, of the utmost importance. We really need to have a very clear intention and make sure that our intentions meet with our words. What we speak is really, really powerful, but when we really want to empower our words, we need to have the right emotion going along with it. So if I then say to you, money comes to me easily in ever
Yeah,
increasing
you have to feel
quantities,
it.
I'm just so filled with gratitude for this, then that's carrying the emotion that we need to bring life to that affirmation. So does that make sense?
Of course, like I get the point. Since our bodies are made of energies, so if you don't use those energies to connect with the universe, it's not going to work. If you just say it, like even affirmations, when you say them out loud, you have to feel them deep down inside of you. You have to feel your body shaking a bit of that energy. Like this is what I do every single time I meditate. I try to create some, I don't know, some external energy which comes from
Yes.
within.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like I get the point of what you mean. And like, okay, so can you tell me, like, how can you match your mind with your emotions? Like, since you said they have to match, how can
Yeah.
we do it?
Yeah, well, we need to, because our emotions are often, we want to raise our energy, a really good way to raise our energy is getting in touch with our physical bodies and to do something which is a life affirming activity, something that is going to raise our energy up. So I would say, I'll give you just a couple of suggestions. Like for me, I love music, and I think music is like a universal, language for everybody. And yeah,
Me
and
too.
so dancing, I would say dancing, like if you wanted to bring your energy up, find a song that you love that you can dance to and go crazy. Go crazy. And
Yeah, this is what I do.
good.
I'm always
So
doing
yeah,
this.
that's exactly what I would suggest. If you have this, like fantastic affirmation and you really want to throw some amazing energy into it, I would say something like, let yourself go and go crazy and dance to
Yeah.
something.
Just
Bring your
follow the
energy
flow of
into your
things.
body fully and then pour it out into that affirmation.
Hmm. Great. Okay. And like, do you think this is going to match our like emotions with our mind? So is it like a great way? Like, how is it going to be done alone? Like through the process of dancing, for example?
I think that the dancing actually brings the right energy forward for you to then use and then make your intention and say your affirmation. So you've got to consciously merge them all together. But it's not difficult because when it's just having that mindfulness about what your intention is and what your affirmation is, you get into that, free space of dancing where you've just let yourself go and you're just feeling alive and just
Yeah.
great, and
Oh,
happy.
yeah.
And then you say it out loud. You say it out loud and you affirm it. And it's these we tend to complicate things in life when it
Mhm.
doesn't need to be that complicated. We just need to remember how to raise our energy and
Mhm.
doing something simple like dancing. Like, if you're feeling, I think another thing to remember is to realize that life is a spectrum of emotions,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that, as much as positivity is where you want to keep bringing yourself back to, it's understanding and not beating yourself up for those times where something happens which brings you down, because there's all sorts of, we're feeling beings, we have hearts and we have souls, and there are things that will happen that will come in and they'll break our hearts. There'll be things that will happen. We'll experience loss because we are loving beings. So when we love something, we will experience loss with that. And
Of
so
course.
grief, is a very valid emotion. Every emotion is valid and has its place. but it's being able to move through those emotions and move back into a positive space and not being held back in life by the times where we're brought down by grief, sadness, anguish, anger, discouragement, any of those things, agitation, any of those things, like, if we just ride the wave, we've got to keep riding the wave and coming back to that place of life is good, I am here, I am alive, and as long as I am alive and as long as I have breath, life is a gift, and my
Absolutely.
life is a gift.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sandy. And do you believe that in order to reach abundance in one's life, people or women have to develop their intuition? What is the value of intuition in this abundance?
Okay, so intuition, what intuition is really, really important for is confidence. Because if you second guess yourself, if you don't trust in your gut feeling, then that leaves you open to vacillate about things, be indecisive. And when you don't make decisions, it can keep you stuck. And you can become disempowered. So this is why intuition is a superpower, and why it's so important to remain attuned with our intuition and trust our intuition, because our intuition, when you think of intuition, it's actually listening to your body, what your body's telling you. So you'll often hear that people say, oh, I've got this gut feeling about something, my gut is telling me this isn't right.
And how do you
listen? You understand?
But how do you how can I say this? Define gut feeling.
It's a feeling, as you say, it's a feeling. It's actually a sensation that you have. It could be a queasiness in your stomach, in the pit of your stomach. This is your intuition is speaking through your physical body, or you've got this tension, you're feeling it, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling really stressed at the moment about something. That's your intuition trying to tell you something, and it's about being attuned to listening to what's going on physically for you and what this is saying about your external circumstances, whether it's your relationships or whether it is the situation that you are in or the circumstance that you're going through at that time. This is what your intuition is. It's actually trying to send you messages that you need to receive about your external world.
And how can one receive those messages? How can you get to understand what your intuition is telling you? Because I'm an intuitive person as well. I really understand my intuitions when it tells me something, when it tells me to go forward or go backwards. But I'm sure that those who are listening to us won't get the point of how to listen to it. So can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, I can, definitely. So there's lots of exercises that you can do, and I've actually I'll just hold that up there, but it's an intuitive journal to help people to get in contact with their intuition. And inside the journal, I've got some exercises in here for the morning and for the evening where you actually consciously will try and tune into today's intuitive guidance. And this is about getting into a bit of a meditative state so that you're quieting. I think you need to learn to still yourself. And that's one of the biggest lessons in life, because we live in a very fast-paced world. And
of course,
that sends us messages that we actually have to fill every minute of our day with doing something. And that's not the way we're actually supposed to function. We are supposed to have times of activity, and we're supposed to have times of rest and times of stillness and times of meditation. And these are the things that help us to keep our lives in balance. And
absolutely,
our intuition gets stronger and stronger in us when we allow ourselves to have those quiet meditative moments. And so my journal helps
like, is this
to get to
your journal? It's you who made it, so it's on sales. Like, do you have an online shop, or
it's available through Amazon? So you can just go straight onto Amazon and you can type in the title. But what I can do, Alice, is I can give you a link to the journal that people can, if they're interested, if anyone's interested in getting this journal, I'll give Alice a link with, and it'll have the assignment number for Amazon, which will take you directly if you put it into a search in Amazon so that you can get it.
Perfect.
And as I said, there's morning and evening exercises there, and it's to help you get quiet, help you get in tune with your intuition. There's also a gratitude practice in there, because, you know, the more we practice gratitude, the more that helps us to attract abundance into our lives, because the more blessings we can count in our life, the more blessings will come to us, because we've had this awakening of how much we actually have to be grateful for in this life. So, and there are some different practices in there just to help you to get attuned to your intuition.
Perfect. So, so I'm just going to add the link to the description. And if ever you want to purchase the journal and you want to practice more intuition in your life, I really invite you to go to Amazon and look for it over there. Well, you're going to have the direct link, so you don't have to look for it. So it's easy peasy. Okay. So, so can you tell us what are the daily practices that you implement in your everyday life to attract abundance to your life?
I'd say, look, the biggest one that I do, I think I really believe in the power of starting off your day on the right foot. I really believe that you set the intention for each day. So what I will do is when I wake up, I often don't feel, you know how some people are morning people and some people are not morning people. I'm a not morning person.
This happened to me.
Wake up. Are you like that too?
Well, I was a morning person, then I lost the habit. I lost the habit of waking up early, and I'm trying to get it back, because I really love it when I wake up early and I don't find a lot of people, it's so calm. You know, you can connect with yourself easily.
Yeah.
So this is what I did today. I woke up early. I went and ran and did my morning routine, meditated a bit. So it really sets the tone for the day. Yeah, keep going.
Absolutely. So I think, that connecting with self at the beginning of the day is really important, and being grateful. I think that would be the first thing. Even if I'm not feeling grateful, the second that I open my eyes up, because I'm still feeling really groggy and I'm still thinking, it'd be really nice to just lie in a little bit longer. But I'm very mindful to be grateful that I've opened up my eyes and I've got a new day. I've got a new day to embark on. And then I will definitely do a guided meditation at the beginning of my day, which will start me off with the right intention, full of gratitude and full of intention for allowing myself to be open to receive, open to give and open to receive. So I would say intention is a huge part of it. I do also write down my intention at the beginning of every day, and I believe that that's really important, because rather than if we don't set our intentions, we are leaving ourselves open to become more victims of our circumstance.
Of
So,
course.
you know, once we've got a clear intention, it's us giving ourselves permission to do what we have prioritized for our day. And that also gives us some authority. It gives us that authority in our day over our life. And then we're open to allow life be life and come in. And, you know, if there are interruptions and everything, that's all well and good, because life can come in. We're open to life. But we've also just said we are the creators of our life, rather than saying, well, I don't know what's going to come today and I'm just going to go completely with the flow, and then you can end up feeling disempowered, as though your circumstances have taken over your day.
Of course, yeah. This is what I do too. Like I've bought. Let me show it to you. It's an Amazon Calm and Mindful like notebook. Well, it's not mine.
Beautiful.
I just bought it from Amazon, and you know, like there is everything, like top things to achieve during the day, my self-care and intention for the day, and you can write down like any notes you want, and there is even like gratitude section. You write what you're grateful for.
Exactly. So you work very similar.
Very
similar.
Like just
I'll
like
show
yours.
you, I didn't show you the inside of the journal, but that's the inside of the journal.
Wow,
there, and
I like it.
See, it's full of all these exercises to do.
It's just amazing.
Super
like tell us a bit about what it has. Okay. I said, can you tell us a bit about what it has inside? Like,
Sure. So the morning exercises consist of today's intuitive guidance, and then today's personal goal, and today's intention. Like I said, setting the intention for the day, then listing off 5 things to be grateful for, starting the day off with that, and then a mindfulness exercise, which is noticing 5 things that you can see and write them down. And that helps you. Any kind of mindfulness will help you to orientate yourself to your present moment. And when you're oriented to your present moment, you don't go too far ahead, because if you go too far ahead, you can fill your head with worries. And if you look too far behind you, you can fill your mind with regret. And when you're filling your mind with those 2 things, that steals the energy away from you for what you need in here and now, for creating the life that you want now. So, it's really important to keep orienting yourself to your present.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like these words. Oh, yeah, you're right. But what do you do when your energy is down? Like when you feel down, you feel just sad. Like, do you try to fight it, or do you try to embrace it? Like, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think it's really, really good to be inquisitive about whatever you're experiencing emotionally. So if you're feeling sad, it's asking yourself, why am I feeling this way right now? And then asking yourself, well, what do I need right now? So I don't think that brushing your feelings to one side before you've asked those questions, I don't believe that moving an emotion away is the healthiest way to deal with your emotions. I believe that asking yourself these questions first to see why that emotion is there and what that emotion is trying to tell you and what you need in that moment. All of these things are really, really important. And once you have got answers to those things, then it's allowing yourself to process that and embracing the emotion. So I think that a big part of the reason why people suppress emotions, I've got so much empathy for people who who suffer, because I know that emotions like sadness and anguish and grief and sorrow can all, we would rather suppress these emotions because we try to avoid pain. And we're actually, physiologically we're designed to actually avert pain because we've got that fight flight response that is built into us. And so we go, I don't want to go towards that pain because I don't want to get hurt any more than what I'm already feeling.
Absolutely.
But if we don't process our emotions, then we can end up suppressing our emotions. And what happens when we suppress our emotions is they will bubble up over time because they've got to come out somehow. So if we are just burying them down deep inside of ourselves, then they're going to manifest in an unhealthy way, and it might be that they'll manifest in some sort of disease in us, or like a physical problem. So or we will just end up with like problems like anxiety and depression and mental health issues, and because we unable to process our emotions. And it's really important. I am a big advocate for counselling and those forms of therapy. I'm a big advocate for coaching. Obviously I'm a coach, you're a coach, and I believe that coaching is a massive part to getting people to move out of victim mentality to becoming truly empowered in their lives. And it's like a huge, massive step away from somebody who is in that victim mentality. And it's very easy for people to be in that victim mentality, even if they have never been an actual victim of something. It just means that when you're in victim mentality, you're not feeling strong enough to take full responsibility for all the things that are happening in your life. But I'm a big believer in getting support, because I think that getting support is the way that we gain the courage, because the people who give us support are the encouragers, and courage is built into that word encouragement. And so we're giving people the courage that they need to grow and to blossom and to just move forward beautifully in their lives.
It's a force to move forward, even if like when you're encountering a lot of difficulties. But one thing is for sure, like no one is living life without having obstacles, without having problems to deal with. It's the charm which, it's the thing which makes the charm of life. Because if there were no sadness, no grief, no, anguish feelings or anything like this, happiness won't have a price, and happiness won't have like a great value.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay. So now, can you tell us a bit like more about the programs you provide for women?
Yeah. So I've got a beautiful workshop, and the workshop is called Rediscovering the Treasures Within, and it is a very simple 3-day workshop, and it's just 3 one-hour sessions. It's an online workshop, so anybody can attend from anywhere in the world and participate in this workshop. And this workshop is all there. It's designed to help people to learn how to increase their self-worth, to then be able to increase their net worth in their life. So it's if you flip it around, you could, a lot of people will base their worth on their net worth. So if somebody doesn't have much materially in life, then they will attribute that same worth to themselves. And I help people to remember their incomprehensible worth that is beyond compare, that we all are born with. And that workshop is there to help you remember the treasures that lie within. So I've got my little treasure chest here.
Wow.
And I help people to, discover all the beautiful treasures that exist within them. So that's that workshop there. And then for people who would like to continue on with me, I have a Triumph to Transformation self-discovery program. And that's the next step for people. And that goes over 6 months, and it involves 3 months of weekly one-to-one coaching sessions, and then there's a monthly catch-up from that point where you're giving your treasure map to start walking out confidently on your own in life. And over the next 3 months, I'm just checking in to see how you're going with that, with progressing with that. So it's all about helping people to have the confidence to walk in, step into the direction of their dreams, and not just dream, but start really exploring those dreams and stepping into them.
Of course. Oh my God. Yeah, this is so rich. And I'm sure that if you join, guys, you're really going to learn a lot from Sandy. I'm not saying Sarah. Yeah. So, you have heard her and you've listened to her wise words. I'm really sure that you will learn a lot, about yourselves, about how you can dive deep into your deepest potential, how you can be the best version of yourself. Just know what you want and go ahead. If you don't take the risks today, it's not going to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, I think we have come up to the end of our podcast. Do you have anything you want to say to every single woman in this world? Do you have any message you want to share with them?
Yeah, I absolutely do have a message that I want to share with them, and that is that you are and will always be precious, that you are beautiful, that you are loved, that you are 100% enough as you are, that we are all here in life to learn, to grow, to blossom. We're all here to embrace life, and at those times where we might feel despairing in life, please don't suffer in silence. Please reach out and get support, because the people who support you have been where you are and understand and are just ready, willing and able to give you a hand up so that you can rise up in your life to shine your brightest.
Of course. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're really wise. And I hope that one day I'm going to reach this level of wisdom.
I think you already have it all inside you, Alice.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of you. I'm trying to learn, but life is a journey, and every single step teaches us something new that we don't know. Yeah. So I'm going to put all the links of her website, her Instagram, and even her podcast if you want to visit it, listen to her wise words, because she's really saying amazing things that are going to inspire you a lot, guys. Don't miss out this chance. So we would like to thank you again for being among us, for giving us the chance to learn from your ocean of wisdom. And yeah, we're really thankful. Like I'm representing all the community, so I think they will be really thankful for everything they learned from you. And as you say, live, love, and laugh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity. I've absolutely loved this conversation with you. It's been priceless. Thank you.
Me too. I really enjoyed it. And I hope that maybe we're going to see you soon. Like if ever they want to ask you about any specific topics, I will absolutely tell you, and we can have another like session concerning a specific topic they ask you about. Like if you're okay with that.
I would welcome that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys loved this episode, please share it with your friends, your families. You know, if you don't try to help others, no one will do. So let's keep each other going forward. And if you liked it too, please put a comment below so that Sandy can be happy with your reviews and what you said about like what you learned. Maybe share your experience with us, and like this the world is going to be inspired from you too. So thank you guys again. I'm sending you like so much love. Sandy is sending you so much love. You take care. Yeah.
Lots of love.
Thank you so much, my loves. You take care, and see you in the next episode.